everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and I'm here with an important message and a solution to what's going on. Here in Southern California, we're having the worst drought in our history. 1947 and 1953 were the driest years in LA's history as far as drought was concerned. Back then we experienced 4 inches of rain, and normally Los Angeles gets on average about 15 inches, almost 15 inches of rain a year historically on average. Well, 1947 and 1953 they tied the record at 4 inches, a little over 4 inches. Last year, I'm talking to you in 2014, last year we got 3 inches of rain. This is not good, and that on the heels of several other years of drought. Global warming, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to tell you this. Los Angeles, actually Southern California, has always been a desert. We live in desert conditions and desert environments. Everything you see here, it's like that movie, The Matrix. There's no water here, so everything is, you look around, all the greenery you see in Southern California, the grass, the trees, that's pretty much, you know, it's artificial. And the cost of bringing this water to Southern California is enormous. You know, it takes 20% of the electricity consumed in Southern California. 20% of the electricity that's consumed goes to pumps that bring water to your faucet or to our sprinkler valves. This is not a good situation. So right now they're talking about the salmon up in Northern California being in danger. Imagine that, populations of salmon wiped out. Have you ever had a salmon dinner? It's great, but guess what? They come from bodies of water drying up. I'm not hoping to scare anybody, but the good news is I'm hoping to inspire you to tell you that there is a need for all of us to join hands together and to save water. Our best source of water is conservation. Now, on another note, there's been a lot of talk about GMOs, genetically modified foods. Currently, the government is not labeling what's GMO and what's not. The evidence is pretty clear that GMO foods, and a second, third generation rat populations are feeding these heavily to cancer, diabetes, problems that you would never wish on your enemies happening, sterility happening in mice and rats. So what we've got to do is we're figuring, how can we empower the local food movement? How can we save water? How can we grow our own food in small spaces? Well, at Enviroscape we came out with a rather interesting solution. And how can we make all this look pretty? Well, we have here, you can see here's a beautiful koi pond. We've specialized in ponds and waterfalls for the last 20 plus years. And who doesn't love the look of a beautiful pond? Well, the fish, they create waste that we'll call liquid compost, and typically people will pump it out in the sewer. They've usually done that, but in these times of conservation, these times that we really realize that we need to do something, how about using the fish waste as liquid compost and run it through a system that you could recycle the water and you can get food at the same time. We've created something called an aquaponic system here. We took something that's called an aeroponic system and we've manipulated it and we've done some changes to it and we've created something. We didn't know whether or not it would work, to be honest. Well, it was about a week ago or so, we created this fusion of aquaponics meets aeroponics, and the result is it's getting an A+ at this point. Right now it's March, Southern California. We planted this about a week ago. What we did was we had water, a little tiny pump that's pushing water every 15 minutes from the fish. It's pushing it up through this white pipe right here. It's pushing it up into the system, the vertical garden system. You can see the water up there, and that water disperses, air and water disperses, and it hits the root system. Now, the interesting thing about this system is that it is a food-grade plastic, and I just pulled one of the cups out there. You can see this just pops out. I planted this from seed a week ago, and look at the size of those roots. It's an amazing system. And guess what? The best news is that this type of system will save about 94–95% of water over a normal soil organic system. It doesn't get any better than this. This is an organic, aeroponic, aquaponic, not sure what we're going to call it yet. We'll call it the Enviroscape garden. It's a vertical garden. We'll call it the Enviroscape garden. But it's growing food at a lot faster rate. Our estimates are that it's going to grow food about 3 times faster. So it doesn't get any better than that. This is the second video. I made a first video showing you how we built this thing. This video is showing you a week later. And next time, I'm just so excited because frankly, I've not seen anything grow this fast, and it's organic. It uses liquid compost. The reason it's so noisy out here is because another challenge is this is right outside the Enviroscape LA headquarters. There's a big boulevard, very heavily traveled boulevard called Artesia Boulevard right here, Redondo Beach. So that's where you're hearing all the cars. So in the midst of all this confusion and pollution, there's something beautiful happening here. So I want to invite everybody to go on our webpage at enviroscapela.com. Better yet, when you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.